It's been a while, hasn't it? Hey, hello. Hi. It's been a while, hasn't it? I think it's been, what, 8 months? So I realized today was Festivus. Wanted to give everybody a gift, and I got a lot of problems with you people. Just kidding. Happy Festivus. I'm back. I thought I would do another video while the house was clear, as well as before the end of the year. I will try to do one more. I've been kind of dragging my feet because I know the next video that I do is going to be very, very difficult for me, very emotionally charged. So that's partly why I've been dragging my feet. Now, had I just done it, 6 months ago, I'd be past it already. So, learning lessons about procrastination. Anyway, I did want to do a quick little video. Again, it's Festivus, family's out. I've got the house to myself, so here we are. And this time we are going to talk about the time I worked the front desk at a hotel in Green Bay. This is a job that I had after I quit the waitress role while I was still working at the Boys and Girls. I think I'm starting to get all of this confused now, but I'm pretty sure I was working here next. I've gone through as many times as I can to verify when things happened. So, like I said, this is the job I had after the waitress job, which did not work out. I was still working at the Boys and Girls Club at this time, so I was working front desk in the morning. I think I went in around 6 or 7 in the morning. So by the time I was done, I was able to just drive back across town and go to work at the Boys and Girls Club. So this is about spring 2022. I think I must have started during the football season, like right before the Super Bowl. And I quit, it would have been May. I'm pretty sure it was May when I quit. So it would have been the first half of 2002, 20 years ago. So and I'm pretty sure how I got the job was again newspaper, the classified ads. So I sent my resume and had a one person interview. It was an in person interview because that's how we did things back then. And it was a simple interview with it was one interview. I didn't have to go through like 4 of them. It was one interview with the manager, and he liked me and hired me a few days later. So this I can kind of tell you it was a Best Western, and which was fine. I have no ill will against Best Western. However, I was having a Dickens because it's Christmas time, Dickens of a time trying to find more information. So in the time that I've moved, or it happened before I moved, the Best Western where I worked, it's not that anymore. I had to when I went to Google Maps, it kept sending me to the Best Western that's by the arena, like right by the arena. And I'm like, that's not where I worked. It was closer to the Radisson. I worked on Radisson Way. And it turns out, that's now the Clarion Point on Ramada Way. Sorry, Ramada, not Radisson. I always get those confused. So that's where I worked. It doesn't look, I looked at the pictures of the lobby. It looks completely different. When I worked there, it still had the 90s cabin aesthetic, if you remember what that looked like, where everything is wood and plaid, and it just felt like a cabin in the North Woods. But now it seems like it's a lot more modern. So the layout of the lobby is a lot different. When you walked in, the front door is the same. When you walked in, to the right was the check-in desk, and then you'd go back and there are the hotel rooms. And on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, there was the stairwell and a TV area. And then back where on the right, I get confused. On the right-hand side, by the check-in desk in the back, there was an area for the continental breakfast, which I'll get to in just a second. So it's a completely different location, as I said. And my job was front desk. Like I said, I went in 6 or 7 in the morning and did an 8-hour shift. So by the time I was done, I would just go to work at the Boys and Girls Club. My job was primarily setting up reservations. Somebody would call in, because that's how you made reservations back then. There was no online. It was just you called to make a reservation. So I would take reservations. Sometimes they were for weddings, things like that. If it was a larger party, I would take reservation blocks for weddings or big parties, checking people in, but most people didn't check in until the afternoon. So I really didn't see too many people checking in. However, a lot of people were checking out. So those are the folks that I mostly worked with, were the folks that were checking out. And I was really, again, this was 20 years ago. This was when some hotels still had an actual key for each room, but we had the cards that we use today. So that was interesting to see that in one of the first hotels. One thing also I want to just throw in there, we had a fax machine, and we'd always giggle about it because we would get different ads basically for vacations. And we thought, well, we're a hotel. That's kind of funny. But like vacations to, Cancun, things like that. So for you younger people with a fax machine, it would be like you have a machine next to you, a printer. Basically, you have a printer next to you, and somebody sends you spam mail, but it automatically prints. So you have no choice whether or not that it prints. You just start hearing the printer part of the fax machine just start printing, and you're like, what is this? And oh, it's spam. So imagine having to deal with that and how much ink that wastes. So we ended up having to block a few phone numbers, a few fax numbers, which was fine. Like I said, the job itself was really boring. I really didn't interact too much with folks because people were leaving. I didn't work the weekends. I just worked during the week. I remember we had packer packages for people coming for the in-town games. And I'm pretty sure every hotel does this. You would have to, where you have a 2-night minimum, obviously, because, it's a big deal that you're coming. So you don't want people to, reserve the room and then just not show up. So that was a big moneymaker, or the Packer weekends. So when the schedule was released, that's when we started getting phone calls to reserve rooms. And I think we were booked up. So I really didn't have to see the Packer season. I was just dealing with the folks reserving for the next season, because we were a mile away from Lambeau Field. So I don't remember any stories of people being mean. I don't think I dealt with that. I think it was one of the very few jobs where it was essentially retail or customer service and everybody was nice. So I don't really have anything to say about that. Let's see. When it comes to perks, I am pretty sure I had an employee discount. I never used it because I didn't have enough money. I was poor. I know I wasn't being paid very much. I'm pretty sure it was minimum wage. And I was working like 30 plus hours a week. And I was working at the Boys and Girls Club. And I was living at home. And I was still broke. I did not spend my money extravagantly. It's just I wasn't paid enough. $5 an hour is not very much. So I know I was so poor. Again, living at home. The manager caught me a few times sneaking pieces of the Danish. Like we had the big tray Danish thing that you get from like a wholesale food thing. And I would just eat little pieces of it because I was hungry and I didn't have money for lunch or breakfast. So he caught me a few times. I wasn't in trouble. He's just like, dude, if you need to eat something, just tell me. Don't be eating the food from the guests. So he wasn't mad. It was just like, really? And I'm like, well, then pay me more. Yeah. So I don't really have anything. This was an easy one. 10 minutes and I'm basically done. So I really don't really have anything bad to say about it. Just I wasn't paid enough. I did leave after a while, and that was simply for a different opportunity. And that's the one where I don't want to do that video. I'm going to have to, and I don't want to. So, as for lessons, it's just basic customer service. Just be nice. If you're a customer, just be nice. Um, be nice to people in the service industry, especially now. Especially now. Would you want to wait on you? If not, change your attitude. For real. If you're being a jerk, would you want to deal with you? And if not, then don't do that to other people. I mean, I understand getting frustrated, especially post pandemic. We're heading into really big wage inequality right now under the guise of inflation. Let's be real here. And we need to change our expectations for the next couple of years and be okay with substitutions. It's definitely easier said than done, but we just need to be kinder to each other. We need to be more understanding and fight up together. Together, we need to fight up, punch up, not each other. So just be nice. That's really all I have. This was a really boring one, and I apologize, but I worked at a hotel. It was no big deal. There was nothing crazy that happened. Now, my husband worked at a hotel as maintenance. See, he has some stories. I don't. Not the same hotel, and we didn't even know each other at the time. So it was just kind of funny. But no, I don't have any stories. Nothing crazy. I didn't get to leave the front desk, so I never really saw any shenanigans that were happening in any of the rooms, because I never, you know what, to be perfectly honest, I don't think I ever even got a tour of the whole hotel. So I don't even think I saw the rest of it. I know there was a pool. I never saw it. Just because I wasn't to leave the front desk for security purposes, of course. I mean, obviously, I was able to go to the bathroom. It wasn't that bad. But I do have a job coming up where I get to talk about being tethered to a desk. So that's fun. Yeah, just be nice. That's the lesson here. I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop rambling and let you be on your way. Happy Festivus for the rest of us. If you're interested in marketing, I do host a show for AMA Puget Sound, the American Marketing Association Puget Sound chapter, where I interview a different guest every week, although that's been put on hold for a bit. But we do have over 50 episodes ranging across different marketing topics. So I've linked that below. And 'tis the season. If you want to buy me a coffee or a present, I'd really appreciate it. I've got a link below if you want to buy me a coffee, or if you need some marketing help or business operations help, you can hire me. I could use them. Anywho, thank you so much for watching and staying tuned. I will try to do that really hard episode before the end of the year. I'll probably have to take about 4 Xanax to do that one. For real. Anyway, be safe. Have a happy, safe, and holiday season. Drive safe. If you don't have to leave your house, the entire country is going to be hit with a snowstorm. So be safe. Stay home if you have to. Salt your driveways. Shovel your walk. Shovel for your neighbor if you can. Be good. Watch out for deer. All that fun stuff. Happy holidays. And thank you so much for watching. If you like today's episode, please like, or watch a different episode like that one. But please subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day.